Hi everybody, this is Mitch Mitchell of I'mJustSharing.com. I've at least learned one lesson from the last video I made, that being to at least tell you what website I'm representing so that you can find me if you're predisposed to do so. Anyway, I'm doing this video today because earlier I was watching a video by Lynn Terry of ClickNews.com. That's ClickNewZ.com. And she now has a video channel, and she was responding to a question that someone sent her, and I thought it was intriguing and decided I wanted to answer that same question as well. She answered two questions, or answered the same question two different ways, and I'm going to do the same. The question was, what would you tell yourself 10 years ago if you could go back in time and give yourself some advice? I have one that's personal and one that's business. And I believe that both of them would apply to you as well as they apply to me in some fashion. Let's find out. The first thing I would tell me 10 years ago is to spend a lot more time with your family, especially your parents. In 2002, my dad at this juncture was about 5 months away from passing away. And I had just started to learn how sick he really was. I think that I was probably trying to avoid it. And I'm not that far away from my parents, and I was talking to my dad via ICQ at the time. So I would talk to Dad, and I thought things were okay, and they really didn't go out of their way to tell me anything, regarding how serious he was. And I at least had a chance to kind of finish my book, which you kind of see over here over my shoulder. I had time to finish that, and Dad at least got to read part of it. He got to read about 25% of it before he got too sick to be able to do anything anymore. So personally, I would say to you to make sure that you are always taking care of your family first, because you never know, how long you'll have them with you, and, whether you'll have enough opportunities to tell them that you love them and all that other kind of stuff. So that would be the first bit of advice. The second one goes back to business. I started my business in June 2001, and I was going to be a leadership, management, and diversity trainer. And that's exactly what I thought I was going to do. And even now, I still will do that, but I haven't had many calls to do that type of thing in a long time as the economy's gotten worse. One of the things that happens is that companies don't do that kind of training as much as they probably should. And that they definitely should, but that's on me. So anyway, what happened is that I have over the years broken into doing a lot of different things. And those things are all nice, except for the fact that almost all of them I try to advertise on the same website. And that can probably be confusing for people who visit looking for one thing, because I'm pretty good at search engine optimization. So I can be found online for a lot of different things. So someone comes to the website, and sure, they can follow a trail to get to what it is that I'm talking about for their specific needs. But you look at the main page, and I go into a lot of different things. I haven't broken it out yet, and I probably won't, because it ranks pretty well. It does well for me, and I hate the concept of starting all over again. But if I had any kind of advice, I would tell people one of two things, which is one, either pick one thing and just stick with that one thing, or two, be ready to purchase multiple domains. Have maybe a main website that you can then branch off to. A friend of mine, Althea Garner, used to call it an airport thing, where you have all the different gates, and so you have your one main thing, and then you ship everyone else, everyone to all the different gates depending on what it is you want them to see. Had I done that, I might have been able to get MitchMitchell.com way back. Actually, I'd have never got that, because someone purchased that for the drummer Mitch Mitchell, whose real name wasn't Mitch, but then again, neither is mine, and no, don't ask, because I'm not telling you. But I'd have never got that site. But maybe I could have got something with a hyphen or whatever. But I could have purchased, a bunch of different names, and that way I could have at least had different things on different sites. I'm going to mention it here, and then, we'll see whatever happens. I do leadership and management training. I do professional speaking. I do executive coaching. I make most of my money as a healthcare finance consultant. That means nothing to you unless you're looking for someone who does that. Obviously, I do social media, and I build websites. I help people with search engine optimization. I actually do budgeting. I mean, I have a finance website. I help people to do budget. I help them to set up budget so that they can pay their bills and save money. I, do a lot of things. Obviously, I do a lot of writing. You know that. My goodness, I just, passed post number 1200 on I'm Just Sharing. So I do a lot of writing. And I get paid for all these different things. But it probably confuses an audience every once in a while. And, I go to networking events. What do you do? Well, what are you looking for? That only works so many times. Yeah, it's a little funny, but then, when you have to come right down to it, you basically have to tell people in different venues what it is you do. So those are the two things that I would tell me 10 years ago. I'm sure you've probably got something that you would probably want to tell yourself 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. Think about it. Maybe this is one of those kind of video memes. I don't really know how you pronounce that word, but maybe it's one of those types of things. Or just write it down in the comment and let's talk about it. So anyhow, that's my thought for the day. Y'all take care.